Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Unlimited video. A little bit of a while since I've uploaded. I was preparing for my planetary qualifier that happened yesterday at the time of this recording. I got back last night and I just crashed. And I won. So, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail. So, yeah, worth worth the wait. It was a smaller PQ, and I'll sort of give my... I'll kind of like give you a rundown of what it was like and the opponents I faced and everything. But it was ran by Alpha Games. Super well-run event, even though it was obviously like on the significantly smaller side for a PQ. Not the smallest in the UK, but pretty close. I will say, the strat of going to a smaller PQ is quite effective when you want that day one buy. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you to all my lovely opponents who were super nice, really friendly. Anyway, let's talk about, so obviously I won, so we can put these away and we'll talk about the list. The meta is so wide open that like almost anything you take that's pretty decent can do well. So obviously I chose to take Han Green. I'd locked this in quite a while ago, and if I was more of a meta chaser, I don't think I would have been on Han Green. And I do feel like this is the last weekend you can be on Han Green for a little while. I think it's getting a little bit too targeted. It was already getting quite targeted, but now I think it's getting to the point of being just untenable. You're going to have a rough time. But let's talk about the list, and maybe there's another weekend or two in this. So if you've got a PQ this weekend or next weekend and when you've been practicing the deck, I wouldn't say pivot off of it. But just be aware, I don't know if I would necessarily pick the deck up now. Maybe give it a few weeks, see how things shake up, and then once Han's a little bit more under the radar, maybe go again. But honestly, I think this deck can beat everything. So it's not really bad. It's just like, if people are maining all the upgrade hate, that can be hard for you. And I think a lot of people already were. And now this weekend has been very successful for Han, so I think it'll be more so. But let's talk about the list. So we'll start off with space. So 2 Blue Leader. I really wanted to play 3 of this card. I think it's so important in so many matchups, but honestly, there's just no space. In the Data Vault version I was experimenting with, I would run 3, but there we go. This card is incredibly critical in certain matchups. The big ones are Sabine and so it's incredible in Sabine if you don't see your like super fast aggro start, which obviously you're not going to see every single game. Or if your opponent or if you see not your perfect start and the opponent like ECLs in a masterpiece or something. It's also incredibly important into Kira. This card stops the Kira flip OB, and that's super huge. One of the things you need to get comfortable with as Han is you don't always have to play a 7 cost on the flip turn. Honestly, like even if you only play a 5 cost, that can alone be worth it if it just gets you there. Like if it bridges you into actually surviving with your Han leader and then playing your 7-drop next turn, you're still a turn ahead of your opponent. It's fine, and often too if you're resupplied. So yeah, just this card for turning off the instant nukes in some of those matchups is super important. Like really critical. And the fact that it just lives as like a 5 attack unit is also just threatening, because sometimes you just need to turn the card sideways, and Blue Leader turn sideways very well. Next we've got the most sided out card, but because obviously like you put it in and then you just don't play it in the matchups it's bad in, which is Stellar 80 Hauler. This card's insane, 4/5. Basically the matchups you play it in, it's just not going to die, or by the time it does die, it's like so late it doesn't matter. And you basically just play it, slam a pilot on it immediately. It's like a 6/8 or like a 7/8 or something, and you just go, yeah, cool, turn card sideways. And like so, this is your hard mull into Sabine. This wins you the Sabine matchup. It's not close. If you see this card plus a pilot, it's just wraps. Then we have 7 Falcons, so I'll put them all out now. So we have 3 Fast Falcon, 3 Clown Car Falcon, and 1 Smuggle Falcon. So these are all really important. This list is heavily based, shoutouts to Alec Blandon, KTOD. Basically, this list is extremely heavily based on his list with some changes after I did my own testing and thought, actually, these are some things I want to respect and these are some things I want to put in. But honestly, like the vast majority of this is straight from him. He was playing 2 of these Falcons. I really did like 2. I really liked the advantage of Smuggle. I just couldn't find the space once I made the changes that I wanted to make, but I just wanted to shout that out, that that's something you could do. Fast Falcon's really important in certain matchups. Remember, if you play this turn 1, you basically don't pay its penalty, so you just get 2 free turns of it, which is always really nice. If you suit it up, you need to do that maths in advance. You need to think about how that's going to affect your flip turn, and do things like that. It's possible you can get a lot of value out of your opponent. Like if you're suiting it up turn 2, your opponent pumps a load of units into it and then just bounce it back. That can be really nice, where they don't even you just keep the card and then you get a free resource if they were basically this close to killing it anyway. So it's super good. And then Clown Car Falcon, just like, you know, like basically if you load it up into certain matchups, like there's nothing they can do. Like that plus Chewie, for example, into blue, it's like, okay, I hope you have a perilous position or an entrenched, because if you don't, like, bye-bye. And I mained at confiscates for a reason. The biggest thing to be wary of when you are setting up your Clown Car, which you can do on any of these, but mainly the Clown Car Falcon, is the fact that if it gets confiscated, if it gets traitorous, you're in for a world of pain. So this is another reason why I wanted to be on the confiscates. But yeah, just a super solid lineup of turn 1 in air quote plays. But this is basically what you want to be doing almost every matchup, almost every game. You want to be playing out one of these 3 drops. Just finishing up the space side, I'm also on one Tantive. This was a late addition at the recommendation of Mr. KTOD Matty, who said that Justin was really enjoying it. It was really good in the mirror. I didn't actually play in mirror. I was the only Han Green at the event, but this did. I did have that flex 7 spot, which I think you could basically chuck anything into, and this was really, really good. It's a very beefy body. It did get me there against CAD because they weren't just able to do. They just weren't able to deal with the card. It creates 9 HP worth of stats, and like in a situation where in a simplified board state where it's just like I just need to sink any damage, and I get there, like that kind of thing is really, really good. It's a 5/7 Sentinel in space, just a really annoying to deal with in some matchups, especially if you're getting it out on turn 5. It can just sit there and wall, and if you slap like a Han pilot onto it, like suddenly it's 7/10, and it's just disgusting. So yeah, really, really nice card. I don't think you need more than one. Onto the ground. I'm on 2R2 main deck. I think this is mandatory. So into aggro, which I respect Sabine a lot. I think it's just a deck that it will always be there, and I respect it. And I think even outside of that, this is really important into matchups like CAD, which there was a lot of CAD at my PQ. So when you pilot this, first of all, you can set up the ultimate clown car with like a 13/11 or something Falcon, which is just banter. I think you get to 14/11 is the biggest. Which is, you know, obviously absolutely hilarious. Oh no, 13/11 is the biggest. Yeah, so you can get to 13/11, which, yeah, banter. Or the bigger thing is that you play one of these 2 Falcons, you slap an R2 on it, and now they can't timely into it. Now Han2 ECL can timely into it because they can put down 2 units turn 1. So in that case, you're a bit cooked anyway, unless you see exactly Hall or R2, in which case, get fucked, Han. But anyway, the bigger reason to be playing this, I think, right now is the fact it just lets you go super, super wide. It gives you HP to absorb stuff like CAD pings by going so wide. Like, you know, it's helping to blank things like Kira removal and things like that. It helps blank, you know, OBs, just gives you more HP, just more units. Like, as long as you're sticking units, you're fine. Just super, super good card. I wouldn't want to play it less than 2 in the main deck. I just think the 1/4 stat line is really, really valuable. Looking forward to getting my convention versions. 1 Luke, just as an extra pilot. Just an extra pilot. That's basically it. And he's good. He's a good pilot. Pilots for 3 attack, so just solid card. Whenever I slung him onto a Falcon, I wasn't going to be that upset if it got removed, because, okay, well, I get to maintain a body at least. It's not the end of the world. 3 actual turn 1 plays, if I have to. Although, into CAD, I did have a really nice curve of turn 1 L3, turn 2 Luke plus R2, and that was such a wide and like HP filled board that it let me really easily bridge into like a very powerful flip turn, which was really, really nice. But yeah, just this is a good card. The capture comes up against CAD a lot, like the rescuing, it's just super relevant. But otherwise, like it's a card that smuggles, and it's a crafted smuggle. Like it's just good. 3 tech, this card's broken. Basically, if you get to the simplified game state point in the game where people are top decking and you just bring out a tech, that usually wins you the game. This won me multiple games by I put it out, and then I had access to the surprise strike in my row that won me the game in 1 action. Like, it gave me access to the waylay that immediately blanked my opponent's turn. Like, this card is just completely broken, just unbelievably busted. You need 3 of this. Do not play less than 3 of this. I will shoot you if you play less than 3 of this. 2 Power Damron, this card's insane. But this card's just nuts. It's so powerful. Yes, it makes a 4/5, but generally what's better about it is you can pull it off of like a U-wing, and then you play like a Falcon, you play this, you make your token, you can jam it onto the Falcon, you can like put it onto like all sorts of other stuff. It's just a really good pilot. +2/+3 is like really solid. It goes, you go wide into the Kira matchup, which is super important. Like against Kira, your ideal curve is like, oh, turn 1 ramp, turn 1 Han resupply, turn 2 Poe, I have 2 units, turn 3 those 2 units should give me enough redundancy to go Han ability U-wing, and now my board is really wide, and they probably can't keep up. But yeah, just super important card. I don't think you need more than 2, but just really, really good. And obviously we've got to be on 2 Kira. This card's broken. Yeah, look at your opponent's hand, get the hand knowledge, figure out their lines, and turn off whatever the most powerful thing they can do that turn is, or the next turn, or just if they don't have anything good, turn off whatever the best thing they can do to come back into the game is. It'll let you close out games. It'll get you back into games. It's a 3/5, so it's a bit annoying for them to deal with. Just a great card. 3 Chewbacca. This card is crazy strong. It's first of all, it's a 5/6 with a meaningful ability to blank removal. This is really, really important. It means their opponent just has to attack into it, and that's kind of hard for some decks to deal with. It means, like, obviously Anakin can deal with this pretty easily with a big swing, but like a lot of other decks, like, are just like, you're gonna have to sink 2 or even 3 units into it, which means it's super threatening. And obviously, as like in some matchup, it's just the GOAT pilot. Like, if they don't have upgrade removal, like GG, like you slap a Chewbacca on, and it's like, okay, I hope you have tapping, because otherwise, like, this is gonna hit you for a lot of damage. 3 of the best pilot in the game, Han, this card's insane. It's a 4/5 ambush, which is really relevant when you can Han resource on turn 3 and then just play it out. So that you have like a 5-drop ambusher and a 4-drop ambusher here, like, that you can play on curve, which is just super, super nice. Just cheat out the turn early you need it. This means it hits ace everything that someone can play in the game on that turn. As a pilot, it's insane because you slap it onto a Falcon and you just get to nuke something with shoot first, or onto a Falcon, sorry, or you pilot it onto anything and you just turn card sideways, turn face. Cheat the actions means if the opponent does remove it, whatever, I got the damage in, I can now put my resources into playing out something else. Just so powerful. I was always happy to see this card, just incredibly good. Really, really would, really love this card. And then 2 7-drop Han Solo, because this card's very good. I can't wait to replace it with Qui-Gon in Set 5. On to the upgrades, which I'm realizing I'm running a little bit out of space for, but whatever. 2 Confiscate. I think this was critically important to main deck 2. It actually never came up, but the fact that I had it gave me a lot of security in situations when the only blowout would have been they played a upgrade on me. So having access to it, and like I was holding it in the matchups where I knew, well, hold on, this basically the only way that I get punished here is if they go Traitorous, right? And like you can imagine a Kira turn where they like shotgun Traitorous and you just go Confiscate, and then suddenly they're locked out. That's it. They just basically pass their flip turn. They sit there passing. You can like swing, play a 4-drop unit out, and then they pass again, and you can just claim and swing again. Or if they don't claim, they just deploy the Kira. Then great, you get to send out your Han and do all your stuff. Like, yeah, just nuts, absolutely nuts. 3 Surprise Strike. I will not elaborate. You know why this card's in here. 2 of the actual best card in the game, Waylay. This card is the best card in the game, you cannot change my mind. Yeah, I will never, ever play a yellow deck with less than 3 of this in the 60. Never. 3 Resupply, which you see just shockingly often, and yeah, it just... Sometimes you'll have these funny lines where you just, like, you don't actually really do anything on your flip turn, but you just resupply, just go really fast and, like, flip on turn 3, and then, like, turn 4, you just go, I fucking smuggle out a big Falcon, and I don't need a hand anyway, who gives a shit. Yeah, just... nuts card. 3 Ewing. We know this card is very, very good. And 3 Hotshot Blaster. Again, we know this card is very, very good. There's just a whole pile of really, really good cards to finish off there. Let's talk about the sideboard quickly. So the sideboard is 2 Traitorous. In the mirror or something, this could be like really, really big, into Sabine, things like that. Often it's just I'm cutting bigger things. So it's like, well, I might as well put in something that can do something in the matchup that is actually potentially going to be relevant versus something that I'm definitely not going to be able to play in time. I realise this isn't really a great place to put this, but there we go. 1 extra Waylay, just so I could go up to my 3rd copy. 2 Salvage. This was quite nice into 4-story decks because it's a 0. Also let me recur some of the stuff here that is just like, okay, I just want to play a ship out again, and then it's just really, really good. 3 Spark. Good card, good. Came up against CAD. Like there's sometimes like there's like some things you just like okay, they need to not have this 1 card. I need to stop this 1 card. And then I'm absolutely fine. Like, oh, I need to stop that 1 specific bit of upgrade hate, and then I'm good. I can look at the hand and see what it's looking like. I can rip that card, and then I can know, okay, well, I know what their play is this turn and probably next turn. Just great card. Obviously amazing into control. Just, yeah, super good. And 2 Han1 for the games that go long. Yep. Very, very good card. I like it a lot. And obviously, as Han, you can put it out like a turn earlier, basically. Maybe 2 if you respawn and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this deck is crazy. It's really, really good. I don't think there's anything we just outright lose to. But my experience on the deck has been, as someone who is nowhere near as good as the best Han pilots in the world, and I'll freely admit that, as you just need a lot of reps on this, because I think the thing that's Han is a deck you win the tournament after you've done all the prep at home. The hard part is learning the deck. Because like at that point, like the actual play, like once you understand the lines, it's actually fine. But like you know, there was definitely like matchups I'd never played before, like Vader Tarkentown, which I'll go through sort of in a moment, which I was like, okay, I'm figuring this out on the spot, and I'm sure I made a misplay or two that a better, or like kept a hand I shouldn't have, that a better pilot wouldn't have done. But honestly, yeah, just if you put the time in, you learn the deck, it just runs like butter. It's so good. Knowing what you cannot afford to play in certain matchups and what you absolutely must in others is basically just what's going to win you. Because basically, like with Han, you basically just play the best cards you can, right? Like that's kind of how the deck works. You just play the best cards you can, but you need to know about those opening hands, about what the best thing you can do is in a situation, and like what the worst thing is. For example, like if you play Stolen AT Hauler into like one of the ping decks, like you're cooked. Like GG, congratulations, you just gave them the match. So these are things you just have to be aware of. Right, last thing I'll talk about is my matchups. So round 1 was against Grand Inquisitor Jeddah. I took that 2-0. Round 2 was against Vader 4 Tarkentown. I won that 2-1. It was really, really close. I will say I had a pretty rough opening hand game 2, but even still, like it was close. Round 3 was against Cad Tarkentown. I was very proud of how I played, because I played through some pretty shit opening hands, to be honest. Like it wasn't the things I wanted to be doing. So I was very, very happy with that. Round 4, my opponent, basically I was like, well, I'm pretty sure IDing is just the thing to do here. I was on table 2, so we just ID'd. And then round 5, I also ID'd. I will say, in round 4, I did end up playing my opponent anyway, and I 2-0'd him, so right decision for my opponent. But yeah. And then top 8, I was the 2nd seed going into it. I was up against Anakin Colossus in top 8, and this was a close best of 3 set. I was so stressed, but I took it 2-1. Basically suiting up the Falcon just got me there. I swung for 13 at one point, which is just insane. Top 4 was Sabine ECL, which is a super good matchup for this deck. You just out-aggro them. And then round 5 was the same Vader Tarkentown player from round 2. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this deck in the comment section down below. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. There'll be more, I promise. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.